Welcome to the latest episode of the More People podcast. I'm your host, Richard Hanwell, Managing Director for More People. I'm thrilled today to be joined by a friend of ours, Mark Buttress. Welcome, Mark.
Hi, how you doing?
Very well, thank you. Mark, if you'd be so kind as just to introduce yourself.
I'm Mark Buttress, Creative Director at Hue. We're a branding agency that kind of help companies keeping their brands consistent and on brand, really.
I'm keen to understand, in layman's terms, if you'd be so kind, is how you do genuinely bring brands alive.
Well, if you go for you, an example, kind of moving to this office, so you already have your kind of brand already. It's kind of working out what you actually want to do, what you want to achieve from that. So when you're moving into this space, because from going back to your previous offices,
oh Christ, yeah,
your space was a bit disconnected. You had an upstairs and a downstairs, and upstairs felt kind of lively, positive. Downstairs, probably not so much.
Yeah, very much.
Then
so.
You've moved to this bigger space. It's more kind of collaborative, and I think you guys wanted to kind of get that kind of feel in here. So we met with you guys, went through what you wanted to achieve, and then came back with concepts, ideas. I think more of a collaborative effort, really, trying to work out really what you wanted to achieve. And try and bring that personality into the space.
That worked perfectly because we were moving, right? We're a growing organisation. We'd outgrown our old office, which was in essence almost dungeon-esque.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, I nearly said that. But yes,
it definitely was.
Downstairs definitely felt dark and dingy, and upstairs was quite lively. And I think you were trying to bring that kind of feeling upstairs in the whole space, really.
But very much so. But when you're dealing with an organisation that isn't moving and you're going into it, how do you help bring that brand, that culture kind of alive a little bit more?
We need to know what you want to achieve, really. So if you're in your space, what do you actually want to do? What are you doing? What's the space for? How do you want people to feel? How do you want people working there to feel? So it's really kind of delving deep into finding out what it is you want to achieve in that space and what people need to feel when they come in.
And I guess does that play into kind of company culture and staff culture?
You're trying to create that kind of environment where people are inspired to come to work and actually want to be there and actually deliver what you want to do. So if you haven't got that kind of feel, they're not going to deliver, they're not going to perform.
So how has this evolved over time then? Because you founded the business over 17 years ago, am I right?
Did on my own, yes, back in 2007 during a financial crisis. We evolved in 5 years, we grew a little bit, took somebody on. Then I decided that actually it needed to be not just about me, so the name had to change. We had to kind of change our culture, change our business. And as a kind of group, we decided on the name and what we was going to stand for. And then this last 6 years we've been Hue, and we've kind of been
growing, right?
Yeah.
And off the back of some of the work you did here, you were fortunate enough to have a referral from us to a much larger organisation. It's fair to say that down in Kent. And how did that play out?
That was interesting because they'd moved into a really nice space, but it was massively just white walls, so big long corridors, white walls, and Paul, the MD, didn't really know. We knew he wanted to have his branding in there, but he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So they had the kind of canteen space, they had the offices, they had the kind of breakout areas, but they needed it to kind of be a bit more cohesive and kind of zoned, so the spaces actually worked. Downstairs, we decided to partition it off, so it had kind of meeting space, eating space, and kitchen areas.
Okay.
So each area did kind of feel, and these long corridors they wanted to have the idea of letting people know more about the business, and that became a timeline from when they were conceived back in the 80s to the new kind of swanky building. Okay. So as you come into the offices, you're kind of seeing this journey.
Oh wow!
But they're not having to tell people. So as you come in, you're seeing it.
Some of these pieces are helping with staff retention, the recruitment, retention, the whole
also
space.
Just the kind of vibe there. So again, back in their offices, it almost felt like the people would change their clothing. Went in deadly quiet, no noise.
Wow.
The uplift of kind of branding into the space, and then there's noise, there's people moving around, there's people standing up using, like here, headsets.
Yeah.
Give them permission to actually enjoy it, not just sit at the desk.
They feel a little bit more connected.
Absolutely.
And
valued.
Yeah, but value is a huge thing because it's value for money, but it's not cheap, right? So
what's price? Because it's about what it actually delivers, isn't it?
Exactly that.
You've been here now about 2 years. Have you seen a difference?
Massively, hugely. I think people are very proud to be here. People are almost here for longer. That was not the initial objective, but people are here a lot longer. I think people feel more comfortable referring other individuals to work here, which is a huge thing for us. We spoke about on a more regular basis. We feel more comfortable holding events, networking events, etc. here. So
that investment was worth doing because it's allowed you to do a lot more things.
Massively.
Would you say that's allowed you to then branch out to kind of like you now sponsored football ground? You've decided, right, we're going to get more people everywhere.
yeah, we want as many people speaking about more people as possible. The branding and just being proud of it and then being wanting to show it off, I think is a huge thing. And there's endless amounts of marketing opportunities. Even just still photos out in the office work so much better.
And your space is evolving. I mean, I don't think you ever thought that this would be used for a podcast.
No,
But I mean, you've now developed a space where actually you do feel comfortable to do that, and actually inviting guests in to do that. So
yeah,
and which is help furthering your brand even further, isn't it?
Our brand, our reach, our purpose. I think it helps on all fronts. To be perfectly frank, what's kind of 17 years is a long time, right?
Yeah.
What have been the key kind of changes that you've seen throughout the course?
Technology, definitely, 100%. So from when I started before I did it myself, there was repro departments. So the stage in between actually print. So you'd actually kind of print stuff out. You had to mark it all up, and then it was put onto press. So that department got completely eradicated overnight by tech.
Yeah.
We also have fax machines, we have ISDN machines, stuff like that. So technology is definitely kind of changing things. Obviously, recent things like AI and stuff like that.
How do you think that will develop? How do you think that will evolve?
I think AI is a useful tool, and I think people have kind of mistaken the fact it's going to take over creativity, and I don't think it will, because you still need that input. I think that's the clever way of using this. You've got to actually give it what you want it back to get back. Without that, it's useless, really. It's just going to copycat stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to work alongside it. I had this conversation with Andy some months ago about the threat of AI to recruitment. Years and years and years ago, when I first started out, LinkedIn didn't exist, and if somebody told me that a brand new free website was coming out with everyone's CV on there, I'd have probably walked away from the industry all those years ago. Now, ironically, we pay LinkedIn a huge sum of money. We work alongside it, and we've all evolved our business models, and we're all more successful because of it. And I think the same will be said for AI. It's not here just to take everyone's job.
It's free, isn't it? They're giving it to you to use as a tool. It's not like, well, kind of is a little bit, but not everything's paid for at the moment.
Yeah.
It's there to use as a tool, so I think you should adapt.
It's also been around for about a decade, right? Yeah. So it's been ever present. When we talk about marketing and creativeness, there's a lot of talk around trends and what have you. How much stock would you put in trends?
Well, I mean, they're useful for kind of instant kind of gratification and getting things back, but actually long term for a brand and its personality, I don't think you should focus too much on trends, because they'll be here and gone. And it's not a long-term solution. You need to focus on what you want to achieve.
So focusing on the more individual personality.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you don't do some of the trend stuff on like social media, kind of throwaway content, but what you want to do is your vision and where you want to go. I don't think following trends is the best way of.
Do you see a lot of trends kind of manipulating or kind of coming in?
I mean, there's a current trends on social media where they're kind of using different language and stuff for Gen Z and all that stuff. But it's strange how it's like kind of imagine there's a purpose in trying to do that. I'm probably the wrong generation to be looking at it. It's not aimed at me. That's the point. It's aimed at someone else. But I don't know. It just feels a bit throwaway.
Are you still seeing a vast amount of younger individuals looking to get into the creative space?
Yeah, we're inundated with CVs all the time. People trying to get work with us.
Yeah.
But I do get a lot of blind emails from recruiters saying, "We've got someone that's a good fit for you," and I'm thinking, "You've never called me. You don't know what I'm looking for."
And that's got to be the frustration an organisation trying to represent you that doesn't understand.
Yeah. So they could have picked the phone up and actually spoken to me. "Gee, you're looking for somebody." There's none of that interaction.
I also think the amount of recruiters, arguably, that are in that creative space is too heavy. But it's good that you're still seeing a vast amount of people wanting to live in that space and not feeling too threatened by AI, and those roles are still going to exist. So Hugh's now over 17 years in experience. What do you think the future of your business looks like?
Future for Hugh, I think we're going to continue doing what we're doing well. We want to grow.
Yeah.
Evolve into spaces that probably don't exist right now.
And when you say grow, how big's the organisation now?
There are 5 of us.
Okay.
When I say grow, I don't mean massive. I prefer us to be agile. I think if you're too big, you can't manage that really. And, to do what we do, we need to be a little bit more agile.
To have that personal touch and know all your clients.
Yep.
But there's enough growth. Could you double headcount?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
And always keep within your offices around Stamford Town?
We've kind of, that's the thing when I'm talking about growth, that we are looking, we've got a kind of satellite in London. So maybe growth into kind of London would be our aim.
It would open up a whole different talent pool as well. One would assume.
I mean, we get a lot of CVs from around the country thinking we are in London.
Okay.
So it kind of opens that thing. Okay, well maybe they could be that office.
And is your client base nationwide?
National. We've got some globals.
What international stuff?
We've got Studex, which is the world's largest manufacturer of ear piercing. We've got Mission, obviously, which is a avocado people. Clarity 4D, kind of a color profiling training business, which are global.
Them,
nationally, Bakehouse Kitchens, you guys.
So there's a lot to go after then. And one would assume that we have to remember that as we get older, you may well have to be in the market for some more junior individuals that are keeping up with nowadays trends as well, as much as I hate to say it.
Absolutely. So when I say trends are throwaway, they are, but I need to obviously keep.
You need to be aware of them. So you need to be on top of it.
Yeah.
This year we turned 25 years experience as an organisation. It's our 25-year anniversary. I've not prepped you for this, but what advice would you give the 25-year-old version of Mark Buttress?
Probably believe more in yourself.
Okay.
I would say when I was younger, when I was at college, university, that kind of thing. I don't know. You always don't feel like you should be there doing that job. That
really?
Makes sense? I don't know why. But
you didn't have that confidence?
No.
It's interesting because I remember you taking on running how many years ago?
That was I was 24.
And how many marathons have you run now?
21, be 22 next year, London.
22 marathons. But did you have that imposter syndrome with running as well?
I never signed up for my first marathon because I didn't think I could do it. Then I thought, just do it. And then once I'd signed up for it, then I was in, wasn't I? So I had to do it. And then I said I'd never do another one after the first one. And it was
so 20 more down the line.
Keep going.
Well, there you go. You've got to believe in yourself.
Yes.
You should. Well, Mark, thank you so much for today. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, brother.